tax returns and lowball offers too. Barrel takedowns, they're a pain, what can we do? High selling fees, bad buys, and rude buys galore. Flipping ain't easy, but we keep coming back for more. All resellers are gonna make mistakes. Learn from them, and you'll have what it takes. In the world of reselling, we're your guide. With flipping ain't easy by your side. Sourcing great items is the key to success. Subscribe to the channel and stand above the rest. Focus on the thing that is within your control. Hang with flipping ain't easy.
Well, hello. Welcome back to the channel. First of all, let me know if you guys can hear us okay. The echo's fine.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Went and picked up another mic on my side, so hopefully you guys can hear me okay without the echo issues. So I'll go ahead and get started. Yeah, it's been kind of a wild weekend, and as a result of a lot of things going on outside of our control as resellers, we are going to see what happens with these tariffs. And more specifically, I mean, I know there's the tariffs in Canada, the ones in Mexico have been resolved for the most part, and the ones in China are the ones I want to talk about here. Now, of course, this is the segment of our show where someone comes to our show in the middle of our live because they can't come earlier in the day to pick up our mail. So I'm not going to complain about that because it's one less thing I have to do, but you guys are probably already used to it. So hopefully I sound better too. I don't sound as sick as I did last week too. That's another thing, having to get over that has been kind of a fun ride. But nonetheless, I want to talk about the Chinese tariffs, and currently it's at 10% tariffs, and that's not a whole lot on its face. But what's also sort of being uncovered as a result of these tariffs is something called, and you may not have heard of it before, but it's called the de minimis exemption. So what that is it is a rule, and I'll kind of go over this with you. And this is kind of what I want to focus on because I really do think this is going to have an impact on reselling. Resellers, if you get your goods overseas, even the competition, like we talk about Temu, we talk about them, Shein, and all those other online retailers that really get most of their goods, if not all of them, from China. So I want to get into that. But before I do that, real quick, look, I just want to say a couple things. I'm not an expert on any of this stuff, but I do know it affects resellers. So it prompted me to kind of dive in to get in here and even ask Grok what it thought. That's for those of you who don't use Grok, it's sort of like ChatGPT, to get an interpretation of what we're dealing with here. And what it can mean for resellers. And I thought it was a meaningful discussion. It could lead to a meaningful discussion today. So that's kind of why I'm bringing it up. But I don't want this to be, look, a political thing of, my president's better than yours, or this, that, and the other thing. I don't even care. The bottom line is, I don't care who you voted for. The bottom line is, this is what we're currently dealing with. We're all in the same boat together, and I don't care who's driving the boat. We're still in the boat. So with that said, let's get to it. Here it is, and I don't know who the hell that's supposed to be, but this is on the businessstandard.com. Trump bans China de minimis route. What it is and why it matters. Trump's new tariffs suspend China's de minimis exemption, blocking duty-free shipments under $800, a move aimed at curbing fentanyl and impacting Chinese e-commerce firms. That's the part I mean, fentanyl sucks, but this isn't a program to talk about that. It goes in to say U.S. President Donald Trump's recent decision to suspend the de minimis exemption for Chinese imports has drawn attention to a key mechanism in the international trade. The move is part of a broader tariff crackdown aimed at curbing the flow of illicit fentanyl and reining in Chinese e-commerce giants like your Shein and Temu. What is the de minimis route? The de minimis rule, they probably meant to say rule, exempts low-value imports from customs duties and standard screening procedures. In the U.S., shipments under $800 qualify for duty-free treatment when sent directly to individual customers, which means that if you have, let's say, a Chinese reseller on eBay, many of you guys have direct competition right now from resellers who are in China and are sending these items into the United States. and it could be $5, phone cases. It could be, electronic items. Could be all kinds of different things. And if it's under $800, they're exempt from duties. So we don't see a lot of that in the United States when we're buying stuff in the U.S. Like you get all these extra taxes and levied on top of the purchase price. So it's, in this case, under $800 qualifies for duty-free treatment. And this is one of the most generous thresholds worldwide. The EU, for instance, caps its de minimis exemption at $156 before we, see any additional, fees added onto that. Why did Trump shut it down? I mean, one reason is the fentanyl issue. And then two, targeting Chinese e-commerce giants. Platforms like Shein and PDD Holdings Temu have benefited from the de minimis route by shipping low-value packages directly from China to U.S. consumers without incurring tariffs. This competitive advantage has put pressure on American retailers. Blocking the de minimis route forces these companies to pay tariffs, leveling the playing field. Now, the impact on trade and e-commerce, that's us, e-commerce. The suspension will disrupt supply chains and increase costs for Chinese e-commerce firms, which may pass these expenses on to customers. However, the scope of the suspension remains limited to China, Canada, and Mexico, leaving other trade partners unaffected. Now, you could scratch Mexico. There was a deal made a couple hours ago where they're, for at least 30 days, that's being put off. Takeaways, temporary measure. Trump's executive order does not call for permanent suspension, meaning de minimis rules could be reinstated in the future. Selective enforcement, goods from countries other than China, Canada, and Mexico can still enter the U.S. duty-free under the de minimis rules. So this wasn't all that clear to me as to what in the hell are we dealing with. So, of course, I go over to Grok. And it says the changes to the de minimis exemption effective February 4th, that's tomorrow, are set to have significant implications for eBay sellers and the competitive landscape on the U.S. eBay site. Here's a detailed explanation based on the current information available. Now, it added some random thing in here, so I'm going to skip it, but it's the number 5. But impact on eBay sellers, increased cost, duties, and taxes. Previously, items valued under $800 could enter the U.S. duty-free under the de minimis exemption. Now, items subject to tariffs under Section 301, 201, and 232 will no longer qualify for this exemption. This means sellers dealing in these products, so you have solar panels, washing machines, steel, aluminum. I believe it also does affect electronics. Will no longer qualify for this exemption. And it means that sellers dealing in these products will face additional costs for duties, taxes, or fees, which could decrease their profit margins or necessitate price increases. So essentially, if you are someone that maybe you go and buy $500 worth of cheap Chinese stuff, and then maybe buy it for $1 a piece, and then you flip it for 10, well, you're going to be paying more than $1 a piece now. You're going to be paying, and I don't know exactly what the math is because it's really not coming out to say it. Now, we know that there's that 10% tariff, so that's going to be there. So you're paying an additional 10% at the very least. But I don't know, and this is where the experts that are watching will come in, I don't know if there's any more to that above and beyond the 10%. Compliance and paperwork. Importers, including eBay sellers, will need to file certificates of compliance electronically for consumer products, even for de minimis shipments. This requirement adds to the administrative burden, potentially slowing down the import process and increasing operational costs. So things that you didn't have to do, you're going to have to do now. Custom clearance delays, so it's going to be a lot longer to get your stuff with stricter oversight. Custom processing times could increase all shipments regardless of value, might be subject to more scrutiny. This could lead to longer shipping times, affecting seller ratings and related to shipping speed and customer satisfaction. That's not a bad thing, and I'll tell you that why. If you're competing with someone who's selling in China in the U.S., it's going to be harder for them to compete against you because they are dealing with these longer handling times and shipping times into the United States. Product handling and pricing. Some eBay sellers might opt to narrow their product range or focus on higher margin items to offset increased costs. This could mean less variety for customers or consumers, or higher priced for items that were previously imported under the de minimis exemption. So we're talking, you buy it, you might see higher prices now when you're buying these items. This one here has nothing to do with it. I had to ask it to redo it. It's talking about the different clothing changes. I don't know why it even thought about that. The impact on the U.S. eBay site. I asked Grok to tell me what is the impact on eBay in U.S. And here's what it had to say. Leveling the playing field. The removal of the de minimis exemption for certain items could level the playing field to some extent by making it harder for foreign sellers, particularly from China, who have been leveraging this exemption to offer lower prices. This might give a slight advantage to domestic sellers or those not reliant on imports from tariff-impacted countries. This, to me, is probably the biggest takeaway right there. And you can't see it because I have it down there. That is the biggest one right there, where the playing field is going to be leveled a little bit. If you are currently competing against these, you have a product, maybe you sell speakers, and you're competing against the cheap knockoff or similar speakers from China. Well, you're going to have a better chance here. Shift in market dynamics. Sellers might pivot away from low-cost, high-volume strategies to focus on quality or niche products. This could alter the competitive landscape, where sellers with better logistics, quality control, or unique product offerings might gain an edge. Increased compliance costs. So smaller eBay sellers might find it challenging to manage increased compliance costs, potentially leading to a market where only larger or more financially robust sellers can compete effectively. This could reduce competition. So that's if you're buying the stuff, bringing it in from, let's say, Alibaba or something like that, and for the most part, now you have to pass your costs on to your buyer. Consumer impact. Consumers might face higher prices or fewer options for low-cost goods, especially in categories like apparel, electronics, and solar products, which are more often imported under the de minimis threshold. This change could influence buyer behavior, possibly benefiting sellers with more premium or domestically sourced products. And the last one here is market consolidation. The increased costs and compliance requirements might lead to market consolidation, where larger entities acquire smaller competitors, where niche markets see reduced competition from international low-cost sellers. So this could push out a lot of your foreign resellers, particularly from China, that in the past were getting just off on the fact that they didn't have to pay for the additional taxes and all that stuff. It says, conclusion, these changes are poised to reshape the eBay marketplace in the U.S. by influencing how sellers operate, what they sell, and how they price their products. While it might protect certain domestic industries by reducing the influx of low-cost foreign goods, it could also lead to higher costs for both sellers and consumers. Sellers will need to adapt by either absorbing new costs, passing them on to consumers, or finding new strategies to remain competitive. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. Now, I just want to say that for those of you who buy at yard sales, the bins, swap meets, wherever you buy your stuff at, you're probably not going to see much of an effect on anything even close to right away. You might see that later on down the line that something might retail at $100 and now it's going to retail at $120, $130. Well, instead of paying $2 for it at the yard sale, they might ask for $3. I don't see it being a huge factor for resellers. But if you do source through China, and that's where there's a lot of eBay resellers out there who will go through, Alibaba, I believe, and go through them and AliExpress and place orders and have things either made or go with the existing catalog of stuff that's up for sale. And if you buy in quantity, you can have it shipped. And those folks are going to probably be dealing with a higher price point. So I just want to know your thoughts on this. It's one of those things, as far as for what I've seen, it's not going to be the end of the world. In fact, it could be a good thing for us resellers who are competing with some of these people in China that are and from what I understand, there's a lot of sellers who are like Temu, for instance. They are actually looking to find items that are already stored and warehoused in the United States, looking to get to that stock and sell from that stock while this is going on. So I guess we'll see what happens and how this goes. But I want your opinions on this down below or in the chat. And maybe it's a nothing burger, but I think a lot of times, this stuff will just kind of be swept under the rug, and maybe we'll wonder why are things a little bit more expensive, and this kind of gives you an idea before it actually really happens, so you can maybe identify it when you start seeing price increases. This is probably why. And then you're laughing at me. Why are you laughing at me?
I'm laughing at the comments.
How's your microphone? Are you Miss Echo? Why don't you say something?
I don't know. Am I echoing? Hello.
So, hopefully everything's squared away with the sound. Now,
Duncan says no audio issues this time. How unusual.
How unusual, huh? So I went in and got another brand new microphone for myself, and it's installed, and maybe that was the issue all along. So let's hope that those days are behind us. Derek W. Pat says, "Hi guys, I'm here, but I'm not here. Heading back to eBay work. See y'all soon." Well, there's a lot of folks like you that work while you're listening, but thanks for checking in. I appreciate that. And then Mike is with us.
Did you just totally skip?
I did for a second. I did for a second.
Wow.
I didn't really mean to. How come you always got to throw me under the bus like that? They don't have any idea.
I'm here for the peeps.
I understand, but you just let me do my thing and not throw me under. This is
No.
the level of what we have going on here. She looks for opportunities to throw me under the bus.
He fought for that spot.
He'll get recognized. But I want to thank Mike real quick, because Mike...
I love you too, Mike.
Mike sent me... Yeah, I know. See how she is, Mike? She wants me to take your name off the screen.
No.
So Mike texted me and said, "Hey, did you know you have the show set up for tomorrow?" I guess that's our snafu for the day. We got it out of the way. So Mike noticed it and let me know, and I fixed it. So thank you. He says, "Hi, John and Jen and FA community. Happy February. Hope everyone's starting to have increased sales after the January doldrums. Keep on listing." Mm-hmm. But we didn't have really any doldrums per se. We actually did pretty good. And I guess this is the time of the show where we go in and kind of show you what we did through January 1 through Feb 3. So 12,347 in sales. This is on the main store. $76.22 ASP with 162 items sold. And so all are trending upward, up 46% from last year, which is outstanding in sales, and everything looks good. So I'm happy about that. Okay, now Mr. Keith, he was second, and I think he's upset about that. He was second. And let's see here. Yeah, this is where the problem was. It said that we had an issue with our timing. So, but thanks for being here, Keith. Thank you for maintaining and keeping an eye on the Discord server. And again, for those of you guys who really just haven't bothered with messing with it, go over and check it out. It doesn't cost you anything. We'll probably have the link sometime in the chat if you're watching this live, but you can go to the description down below and click on the link to the Discord server and come by and say hi. It doesn't cost a thing. Keith says, just keep listing and just keep listing. Yeah, keep listing. Just keep listing, just keep listing, just keep listing. Paul Rose says, evening, John and Jenna from dear old Blighty. Is the smoker fired up in case you need to send signals? No, we're good now. Let's see. Pico says, since DVR ain't here, I'll get... So I guess Duncan's not here. Is he? Okay. I'll get in that the PPP was good on Saturday. Okay. Glad you guys like the PPP. We are... I don't want to go into it so much. We're going to be talking about that here. Just tune into next week's PPP. We'll explain. Kevin Hawthorne, good evening from Lakeland, Florida. Nice to see you, Kevin.
You missed Callie Debs.
Oh, did I? Okay.
Yeah.
Callie Debs with us. Thanks for being here. Jenna is now assigned the duty of chat patrol. She's making sure that...
I always have been. You just didn't. You're just now catching on.
Jody Wilbur says, hi, everyone. For once, I'll get to be here for the whole live. Just never happens. Well, nice to see you, Jody. Thanks for being here. Flip it good.
Jump trader.
I'm doing the because the yellow throws me off.
You're already skipping.
Flip it good says happy Monday. I'm sorry, Flip it good. She didn't want me to read this comment.
Hi, Flip it good.
But we did anyway, despite what Chat Patrol has to say. Anissa says, hello, lovely folks.
Well, hello, Anissa.
And maybe I skipped that comment because I really don't feel like I qualify as a lovely folk, but maybe I just glossed over. See what it did to me? It knocked me down.
Yeah, because you're not doing your job.
I offered for her to say, would you like to take over this duty and read these comments and stuff?
And I said,
she said,
hell
no.
no.
Because it's so easy, John. It's so easy. I just don't want to do it. Copper Cat says, hello all. Thanks for being here, Copper Cat.
Hello.
KC New York is with us. Says, hello, everyone. Nice to see you.
Hello.
And I guess our intro makes Derek want to get up and jam. I love that. I don't know. That could be taken two different ways. Get up and get the hell out of here, jam, or dance. That could be taken two different ways. Christy, K's Thrifty Ways. Hi from S. Cali.
SoCal.
Henri Squaw says, happy Monday, John, Jen, and FA Chat.
Hello, Henri Squaw.
Yeah,
hello,
how you doing?
Jen.
And JRKR 1964 says, hi, friends.
Sound is great.
That's good. That makes me feel so good. It makes me feel so good.
I'm glad you replaced that because I had a feeling.
But it wasn't intentional. I was going to fight with it today. Last night I was on where I source my individual liquidation stuff, and they had this thing as brand new, and I got it for like $33. This is a $100 microphone. So I'm like, all right, I'll go get it, and I picked it up, sealed, everything. So we are happy. Yes, and Keith did leave the Discord there, so I appreciate that. Here it is. Joe says, good sound.
Good.
Great. Paul says, I like that intro, John, and I can hear you. You seem improved.
Woo!
I feel improved. If I had to give you a percentage, I'm at like 85%. So like I was telling Jenna, I'm still kind of feeling wiped out. So whatever I had was nasty. I'll just tell you that. Big Dre says, hello, John, Jen, and chat. Just signed off on my taxes, and I should receive a decent refund in 2 to 3 weeks. Well, that's great.
That's nice.
Even though I have no idea.
We don't know what refund.
I don't know what a refund
refunds?
is. How do you get a refund with the taxes?
How do you get that? Because it's been many years since we've had a refund.
So to me, you guys know my routine, right? I have all the tax money like banked. It's ready to go. But I don't do my taxes until March. I kind of put things off. It's denial. I think it's denial. I don't want to see it.
Nobody wants to pay that godforsaken money.
Yeah, well, maybe in the next couple years we won't have the IRS. Anybody good for that?
I am.
Good with that?
You'll have to pay somehow, some way. So
who here would be happy with no IRS, no taxes, if that means that maybe we pay a little bit more for stuff? I don't know. I'm kind of good with that. Ella, John, and Jen, I just read that. JRKR says the adults are back in charge. Thank goodness. Pitco says, what you mean you started a show without tech issues? That's the first.
I know.
Hey,
it's so pathetic.
The show ain't over yet, and I still haven't messed with this stupid thing yet. I haven't even messed with that stupid thing yet. So you can hear it beeping and banging. Hold on. Okay, but he's not here yet. Why are you playing that for?
He's here.
Oh, is he? Okay. 1900 stores selling ain't easy at all right now. Oh. So how many of you guys are actually having issues with sales? You know, I showed you my sales. Who's struggling out there? And I'm just curious, without telling us your store and all that, if you are struggling, what category are you selling in primarily? If you sell everything, to say everything. But I'm curious to know what's going on here. Biff Boffo says the tariffs are a problem at the macro level, if at all. I don't deal in anything made in China, nor will I ever. So for someone like Biff, he probably won't ever see any difference. Now, in general, as you know, prices have gone up and they continue to go up. Let's hope that they don't. But if they do, that's general inflation. So whatever Biff might buy, he might buy it for $1, may not have the same value to whoever's selling it at $1. It might be $2 next time. Devon says hello. Thanks for being here, Devon.
Hello, Devon.
Ping G says hello, John and Jenna in the chat. Happy Monday.
Hello, Ping.
And 1900 stores says boat with holes. Boat with holes?
Yeah, it's regarding the thing you were reading.
Oh, I see. Pitco says February is probably going to be a shit show with all the things eBay rolling out for us in the UK.
Oh, no.
Yeah, get your seatbelts on. And I want every one of you guys in the UK to push back on whatever they're doing to you so that selfishly we don't have to deal with it here in the United States. Biff Boffo says there's a news flash. We all have the same president. That's not my president. Business is from either side is silly. It is. I mean,
it really
I mean,
is.
what are you gonna do? I mean, really, it's. You may not like who's in charge, but who's in charge may have an effect in a good or bad way, and it's not just an effect on you; it's an effect on all of us. 1900 store knockoff from China is coming.
Only if they can afford to do it.
I mean, like knockoffs, like Nike knockoffs and Puma knockoffs. I don't know. And by the way, this is the hat that who sent this to me again. I'm so bad. I am so bad. I just talked about him for the show. You know who sent this to me?
I'm blanking in my.
See, asking her to remind me about anything or is just bad.
Just not even.
I'll give you your kudos once I see your name in the chat. I apologize.
I'm drawing a
But,
blank.
I told you I was going to wear the hats. This one's a little loose on my head. I think I need to, grow my fro out a little bit more for it to stay on my head. But we're good. Paul says, putting a TV up in the kitchen today, I brought down some shelves and smashed hundreds of pounds of collectible glasses and kitchen stuff.
Oh, my gosh.
DIYing ain't easy either. No.
Paul.
It sounds like you just have all kinds of problems.
Are
What's
you
going on?
a bull in a china shop?
JRKR,
God,
1964.
that sucks.
Yeah, no, so sorry, Paul. Yeah, I hope you're okay.
Well,
Didn't hurt
first of
yourself.
all, are you okay?
Yeah.
Did you get banged up or?
And
anything?
according to Devon, I haven't looked at it. The markets did not like tariffs today. But I tell you, who likes tariffs? It seems like the price of gold likes tariffs. That's going up pretty good. Paul says, thanks, guys. Had some from Universal Studios and Hard Rock Cafe for 20 years.
Oh.
I did say, oh dear, LOL. Yeah, I'm sure you said more than oh dear.
I'm sure you said more than oh dear, because I know I would have.
And you said more than bloody hell, too. I know you did. Let's see. Biff says, Paul, I lost so much glass in the Napa quake of 2017. I know the pain.
Oh, that's terrible.
Let's see. As Paul was saying here, he was putting the TV high up in the corner, awkward to get it in, and didn't realize I was leaning on the shelf.
Oh.
That's a problem with doing two-man jobs on your own. LOL.
Yeah.
Well, I don't feel so bad. Next time I drop something and do something like that, I won't feel so. I'll think of you. We got our favorite hand here with us. Larry Todd says, Paul's place looks like a Greek wedding. Oh, that sucks.
Paul, that sucks.
He had a euro for lunch after that. Paul says, I'm pissed off anyway. Oh, well, mustn't dwell onwards and upwards.
That's right. Go ahead and take out anything that you had in boxes and redisplay them so you don't feel empty.
Are you bored?
I was during that whole reading of that.
Were you really bored? Why aren't you trying to learn these things? Learn
I'm
about what's
listening.
happening.
That doesn't mean that I care about it.
I mean, what could I have done to make it better?
I think that the information at hand is not as exciting.
It's just dry?
It's just information we all have to deal with, so it doesn't really matter what you say.
Duncan says, John, Jenna, I am impressed with your January sales total. Well done. You too. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. I feel like I could have done better.
It's all John.
I could have done better. I mean, I had the last week of January was just crap, so it could have been better. I mean, I wasn't as involved as I could have been. 10 a.m. I'm getting sleepy listening to John.
See, I wasn't the only one, okay?
Do I have that kind of voice to put
It's
you to
not
sleep?
your voice. It's not you. Don't take it personally.
I
it's
just
the
did.
information
I am taking
that
it
was
personally.
spewing out of this pie hole.
No. If you'd have blamed it on Grok, I wouldn't have taken it personally. But Grok wrote that. I just read what it wrote. No audio issues this time. How unusual.
I know.
Yeah. Devon says, John, I agree. It could be better for us, the tariffs.
Yeah.
We'll find out how it works out. I mean, this is uncharted territory for all of us. To sit back as resellers to think none of this affects us in any way, I think would be short-sighted. It may not affect us that much. It may affect us a whole lot. It may affect people in certain categories where Biff might not be affected at all. It just really depends on a lot of different things, and we'll find out as we go. But it's, I think, good for us to be aware. We are part of the retail sector, and you better believe that Walmart, Target, all these other larger, huge, retailers, they are certainly aware, and they also kind of have a projection on how this is going to affect their bottom line. I'm not suggesting that we should do that. Try to figure out how does this affect us, because we really don't know. So we'll find out. Jules Y75 says, Happy Monday, y'all. Thanks for being here.
Happy Monday, Jules.
Todd says, starting with Richard Nixon, the U.S. government policy has been to give China cheap shipping, trade preference, and manufacturing. About time the U.S. pushed back. I will not gripe about the problems.
I agree.
And one thing I do know is China used to not be the behemoth that they are now. And some people will tell you that they have overtaken the U.S. With the economy. And guess who built China's economy? For the most part, we did. Through these kind of things, giving China all kinds of deals and helping them out, get them to the front of the line, and this is what we're dealing with now. 1900 Store says, John, did you see what we talked about before, or you don't remember? You're talking to me now, right?
Yeah, it says John.
Yeah. You're gonna have to refresh my memory. I'm gonna hopefully. I hope that you'll do that. You'll let me know what the hell you're talking about, because I totally forgot. January this year was much better than 2023 for me.
Yeah.
Same here.
Same here.
So, we have 11 more months to go. Can't slack.
Seems so overwhelming.
Yeah.
When you say it like that.
11 more months to go, and trust me when I say this, I'll put this in the bank.
Anissa said Canada's on pause too. Did they? I didn't hear
Well, okay, we'll look for that in a second. But look, all this stuff is going on, and we are like 2 weeks into a new presidency. So if the rest of the year is anything like the last 2 weeks, man, we got a lot of stuff. What's going on in a year from now could be totally different than what we're dealing with right now. So Canada, Anissa says, same with Canada on pause. So I do know that as of a couple hours ago, Trudeau was talking with Trump.
He actually was going to be calling him a second time, because he had a 3:00 call with him, and then he was going to be talking to him again this evening.
So it looks like the U.S. Pauses tariffs. And yeah, we got 1833 gummies. If you need gummies, there you go. There's your guy. It's not a sponsor to the channel, but if you need gummies and you need some help, there you go. U.S. pauses tariffs on.
Gummies.
Why did this pop up? Oh, Skittles gummies. Well, that's
not Skittles.
Okay,
gummies.
well,
I like the other
okay.
gummies.
So U.S. pauses tariffs on Mexico, Canada for a month, and the U.S. has paused the implementation of tariffs for a month in both Canada and Mexico following conversations on Monday with Trump, according to each country's leader. Canada's Prime Minister Trudeau said in a post on social media, writing, Canada is implementing our $1.3 billion border plan, reinforcing the border with new choppers, technology, and personnel, enhanced coordination with our American partners, and increased resources to stop the flow of fentanyl. Nearly 10,000 frontline personnel will be working in protection of the border. This moves, so that makes me wonder. I don't really know anything about a Canadian military. Are they going to have like 10,000 volunteers on the border? I don't know how that's going to go. But there you go. So we'll see. We shall see. Who?
Does Canada have them?
I think they do, but
I don't think I've ever seen anybody.
I think they're all on horseback, though. I don't.
Horseback.
I just don't.
Are you kidding
Don't
me?
make me pull up Canadian military. I don't know.
We love you, Canada. We think that your people could do better for you.
So here's images of Canadian military. There you go. I don't see a single horse in these photos.
Your thought of the Canadian military is really distorted.
Yeah, well, they have the mounted division of something. I know
We all have that.
let's see. Paul Rose says it took about 4 hours to clean up with all those plates. That's not good.
That's terrible. I would have been so mad. God, I can just imagine the anger in your head that was just.
So my ASP is good. I agree with that. I'm hopeful that it can go even higher if you consider the fact that we had a lot of those $6 and $7 shotgun shell holders that we're dealing with. It turned itself off. It didn't want you messing with it. The $6 and $7 shotgun shell holders that we're bringing down our ASP. We've sold hundreds of them, and we're almost out of those. So that should help as well. We got Busy Girl says Jenna is doing her job. Good to see you guys.
That's right. Thank you, Busy Girl.
Team Jenna wins again. I can't stand it. Larry Todd says 14% down this January, but 2024 January was a banger. Duncan says, "Oh, did you have to mention PPP? I need PP intermission break."
Go ahead. You have
Just hit the pause
2
button.
minutes.
Just pause. And you were late anyway, so I assume that you were doing the whole PP thing before you got here. 1900 Store says, "Good morning from Japan, 8:30 a.m." Well, Kosenem, what do they say? Konnichiwa?
Konnichiwa.
Is it konnichiwa?
I don't know.
Nandishka?
I probably just said a bad word in Japanese, but
Jay Calling says, "We don't even know what's going to happen in Canada, let alone anything happening with any other country." No, we don't. We don't. We can look at the writing on the wall to try to figure out how this affects people, but like the China thing, I think is going to be a little bit more difficult. Mexico, Canada on hold for 30 days. China, that might kind of get more involved. I don't know. We'll see. So
you missed somebody. Samantha
says, "Hello, John and Jenna and FA viewers.
Hello,
nice to see
hello.
you."
Happy Is today Monday? Monday.
You okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Andy Reno says, "I was fourth, but I gave someone my spot." There you go. Nice to see you, Andy. We have Jovial. On the bright side, a broken glass is a symbol of putting the past behind you and moving forward. Plus, you now have room to unbox some other collectibles to display.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
See, great minds think alike.
Tell yourself that you sold all that and feel good about it.
Yeah, but his bank account is.
And then you went on a drinking and gambling binge and lost all of it.
Wow.
So you might feel better about that. We got Pitco. Keith gave a gift membership.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Oh, and it went to Ghost Picker.
Ghost Picker got it. So awesome.
How
Well, thank
exciting.
you.
Well, thanks, Keith.
Thanks. Good looking out. I appreciate that. JRKR says no IRS. Yay. Flipping from the trailer says, "Hey, John and Jenna in chat. How's it going?"
Hey. Flipping from the trailer.
Duncan, tax refund, tell me more. Normally pay the tax office with the exception on shares franking credits. I don't know anything.
That must be an Australian thing.
Yeah, must be right there with like chasing kangaroos. I don't know. I have no idea what you said. Karen Wolven says, "Terrible sales. Part-time reseller usually..." Do they do that in Australia? They chase kangaroos? Karen says,
You're
"Terrible..."
supposed to stay away from the kangaroos. They're mean.
What about boxing kangaroos? I've seen videos of that.
They're mean.
That looks...
Them and koala, they look cute, but they're not nice at all.
Karen says, "Terrible sales. Part-time reseller usually sells 7 or 8 a week. Haven't sold anything in 3 weeks."
Holy cow. Well,
I just wish I had a better understanding of what's going on there. I can tell you that it seems like our second store has slowed down a little bit, but I've got to tell you, I first start to look at what did I do wrong here.
Konnichiwa.
I haven't been selling or listing as much on that account, and the reason is I have had more good stuff, more stuff for the main. My main focus is on the first account, the one that I showed you. that's where my focus is, because that's where the money's coming in. And to me, if I can make $2,000-$3,000 in sales a month on the second account, then that's great. And that's kind of where we're at right now. Even I think that account was slow in January, but I really think it's just not, I have not been as focused on that account. That's part of it. Ping G's with us. No sales for over a week. I sell Disney collectibles.
Oh my gosh.
So Disney collectibles are, I'm wondering how many out there, or who out there is killing it right now in any kind of collectible. I'd like to know that. Jimmy D says, second Sunday in a row, goose eggs.
Wow.
We don't like that. We don't like that. Now,
Sunday's our biggest sale day usually.
did you have any day like before or after it where you had a higher than usual sales total? Curious about that. Paul Rose says, no way they'll abolish tax here. I wish they would. I'd rather pay slightly higher for goods, like you say.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot going on in the UK right now. There's a lot.
Oh, yeah.
A lot. So I think that's, abolishing the, what is it, the EIMS or something like that? Abolishing that is like way off the radar. You got a lot going on. 1900 Store says, antiques and vintage from Japan.
Oh, nice.
So how's that doing?
That is so cool.
Well, let me say hi to Larry. Larry, way out.
Larry!
Nice to see you, Larry. Happy Monday, John and Jenna. Nice to see you.
Larry. Are you coming to Boss?
Are you going to Boss?
Are we? I thought we were.
Are you going to Boss?
Do I not get to go?
So I thought of a plan.
No, that was for Nashville.
No.
Oh, God, here we go. This is another unspoken plan that he forgot to tell his, spouse about.
I fork out the $400. Is it like $400?
Yeah, it's like really steep.
Fork out the $400. I ain't forking out. Look. We can all meet up and have a good time, but I ain't forking out $800 to kind of just. To be honest with you, I'd be bored with it.
No, I think maybe you go.
You go. You go, you learn, you absorb, and you bring back whatever information you've learned to kind of help with whatever needs to be helped with. I'm not good at retaining
that.
And then I will be here.
The whole thing.
I'll be here working, and then when you're done, I'll go and meet everyone out there, and we'll go and walk around and have dinner and stuff. That's, to me, would be fun, and there's no cost in that. So I'd rather do that.
That's what we do every year, but I hear that the lineup is
great,
really good,
great, and I'll send you there. I'll spend the money for you to go.
You really want me to go? Who else is going? I know Mike's going.
I'm okay with that. I don't know. I just I am the tightwad. Well, lately our conversation with Archie has been, "Hey John, I got a new system. I'm going to go to the casino and try. I'm going to try to make this work on roulette or craps." It's
I gotta fix something. Hold on.
What are you fixing? Wait, what are you doing? Oh,
it will roll if
okay.
if it doesn't have the blue arrow.
Keith says, I sell electronic parts mainly, and things been pretty consistent for the last couple weeks.
That's good.
Yep.
Good,
I'm seeing the same, and I sell random stuff, just random electronics. Reef the Sea Forever says, I'm up 14%, mostly collectibles and car parts. It's been weird. One day great, the next zero, and the day after good. Very inconsistent. But the weird things is I beat my December numbers. There you go.
That's good.
So one way to do it is kind of the way I'm doing it. Look to see how are you doing as compared to last year. Just make it a running comparison. So you can go in there and set it for this year as for your sales, and then it'll compare it to last year at this time. And the goal is to try to, how do you increase the sales from last year and to do it better? Where are you? Charles McBride, thank you for the hat.
It just popped in my head.
Yes. Well, at least it popped in your head. It didn't pop into mine. Nanissa says, bad sales. Everything seller had a nice sale today, canceled hours later due to found a better price.
God, that pisses me off.
Who keeps shopping after you buy what you want?
Exactly. Who does that?
And it's obvious that eBay did away with that, that chance to give that buyer, a better price, right? But it sucks. Just know that it was attractive to someone, and it will attract someone again.
That's
You just
so
gotta...
annoying. one of the most annoying things ever.
I would rather have an item where someone buys it and then cancels due to the price than an item that just sits and I have no, maybe get views, but no one's buying it. I think you'll sell it. You'll sell it again to someone else. And this says, Todd, it was the coat.
Oh,
coat?
Maybe she told him about it.
Let's see. Jules says, I'm down 14.7% last 30 days, and I'm taking offers just to get sales. It's definitely slower. I'm taking offers. I do have items that have, not all my items have offers. The way I'm kind of doing it is I'm listing it, and then after it's been on my account for 30 days, I'm going in, I'm adjusting the price, raising the promoted rate, and accepting offers on that item, launching it again. And then someone comes to me on an item that's been in my, garage for 2 to 3, 4 months, and I take a look. This is where I start to look at what did I pay for it. So maybe historically that item sold for $60, but they came to me and offered me 30. It's like, wow, that's a low ball, right? But maybe I'm only doing it for $5, and it's taking up space. It's not the hot item that maybe I thought it was when I bought it. Let's make a little bit of money and get it out of here, and then take that $20 after the fees is done, because I don't include shipping in my prices. So maybe take that $20 I made, put it into more merchandise, which is equivalent to about 4 or 5 more items based on the price point that I buy it at, and maybe within the next couple months that'll sell for something good. And it just compounds and compounds. I like to play the churn game. Busy Girl says, been sick as a dog. Haven't listened in a while, catching up to what's going on new with eBay. That was me. Pushing myself. I probably would have felt better by the weekend. I probably would have been at 100% by the weekend, but I've got to get my work done. I cannot not work. I've got to get stuff done. And then I, went out and played golf yesterday.
I was waiting to see if you were
It
going
was
to
such
say.
a beautiful day.
And then he comes back, and the first thing he walks in and says is, "I'm not feeling so good, honey."
I was just tired.
You're wearing yourself out. You need to listen to your body.
The older I get, the less time that I realize I have to experience life, and I'm going to take advantage of it.
You
I'm not
act
going to
like you're going to die tomorrow.
We might be having a different live stream tomorrow, and I might not be part of it. So just saying, you never know.
Don't say that.
Busy Girl says, been sick as a dog. We talked about that. Duncan says, price is going up.
I hope you feel better, Busy Girl.
Yes, I hope you feel better.
Yes, I
Being
hope you're
sick
on the off swing of it.
Duncan says, price is going up. It now costs $70 one way to the next suburb using Uber.
What?
One pizza and garlic bread now $45.
Holy shit!
But now, hold on. Time out. Australian money is not the same as U.S. dollars. So if you're putting it into... Oops, that's Australian. I don't want that. I want Australian dollar is 62 cents to every U.S. dollar. So if you convert that, that's like a 40% higher on the pizza. That actually sounds kind of right to me.
So how much is that in
so your $45
in English?
Your $45 pizza would have cost about $33. Your pizza and garlic bread. Now, what did you have on the pizza? It doesn't sound as bad now. So I think that is just your buying power.
Okay, but who takes an Uber
to
the suburb? Why don't you have a car?
Well, why don't you just do
you
Uber
guys
Eats?
not have? Okay, wait. So different cultures do different things, and different countries, a lot of different areas either are reliant on vehicles like we are in America, but others in other countries you can walk everywhere and be fine. We could not do that. I mean,
Well,
I guess we could.
Here's your answer. Australian delivery with Uber Eats.
What the hell?
And I'm not going to enter in any address because I don't have any idea where you live. But there you go.
You said ham and pineapple.
Uber,
yes.
All you got to do it's.
That's why John's going to make a joke that's why you got charged so much.
It's
because
difficult.
You put pineapple on the pizza.
It's very difficult to get to. I know you got to go through like the dark web, but you can get to a place called UberEats.com. and save that $70 on your delivery.
It's not Uber Eats. It's
Thank me
Uber.
later.
It's a driving.
No, this is Uber Eats right here. You see that? It says Australian.
No. His comment.
I understand, but he had to go drive to his pizza. He drove to his pizza, and what I'm saying is, he can use. See, he said price is going up. It costs 71 way to the next suburb.
Using Uber.
Yes, use Uber Eats. Pamela says my sales are jamming from Miami. I sell across the board: hard goods, clothing, gifts. That's awesome to hear. I love it. So clothing. I think right now is a good time to start getting your spring stuff together. Get your clothing for the spring and summer. Get it ready. Get it up and get it listed. Paul says, Anissa, that's because eBay and their infinite wisdom show them similar items just after they have paid. Yes, they still do that.
Yeah, it's that is the most annoying thing to me on eBay. Has nothing to do with anything else. That is the most annoying.
Oh, this thing.
I tried
nuts.
doing that.
I know it went nuts on me. I'm gonna open some kind of a thing. I think I have a 1-year deal with Stream Deck to get a new one.
Well, you need it.
But nice to see you, Gail.
Throw it back to them.
Cha-Ching King says he's a bull in a broken china shop.
Yeah,
Yes.
sadly.
Unfortunately.
I'm so sorry, Paul.
Again, Paul, you sold every single bit of it, and to celebrate, you went out, got just totally plastered, and lost all of it on red on roulette. So sorry about that. Duncan says Jenna looks 24 today.
24? Wow. Thank you.
Gail got his first sale in 2 weeks.
Oh my goodness, 2 weeks.
Paul Rose says I'm fine,
good.
but my internal monologue keeps calling me really insulting things.
That's exactly what mine would.
Henri Squaw says,
Why are we giving 1s and 2s?
I don't know. Someone probably said, if this live stream is good, put 1. If it not,
Duncan said, pineapple on your pizza.
Oh.
Vote 1, yes. Vote 2, yes.
it's just not right. They need to put 100% tariffs on pineapples.
No!
Henri Squaw
I will
says,
start growing pineapples.
I cannot update my clothing listings with the new details until tomorrow, correct? No, get them done now. Get them done right away. Right now is when you want to get them done. I think what happens is tomorrow. Is it tomorrow?
Won't they change?
Well, wait. The 5th, I thought it was. Was it the 4th or the 5th? Maybe it is the 4th. Maybe it is tomorrow. Get your stuff updated right away because you're going to be defaulting to very good, and you could have something, or to good. You could have something that's fair or excellent, and it's going to be labeled as good. 1900 store. Yesterday I sold my first item on Etsy after 1 month without any sales.
That's good, but depending on what you're selling, Etsy
Didn't do well for us.
No. It wouldn't. It would never.
Well, it would. I had those. This is when I had those military patches.
The patches,
yeah.
But
Keith says, I think it will affect the drop shippers, though. That's not a bad thing.
True.
Right. Well, not necessarily the drop shippers. It's not going to affect a drop shipper because they're basically buying something from a Walmart.com or an Amazon.com, a U.S.-based business. Even though they're overseas, they're buying it in the U.S. to ship it within the U.S., let's say, right? So I'm talking about someone that maybe works at one of these factories in China. They have accounts set up where they're selling these whatever trinkets they're making for $1 a piece and selling them for $5. Those sellers are going to have a hard time selling at that price point now, and they're going to have to raise their prices. Jovial says, hey, FAA fam, happy book a cruise day. Just imagine all of us together on an FAA cruise. Whoop, whoop. I know Grumpy John
God, I would love that.
But you know what? I think we would all be walking through the boat thinking about how much is that one? What does that resell for? Or that's the way I'd look at it. You know, I'd be going through the shops like,
oh my gosh, I want to go on a cruise. I want to go somewhere.
Well, you are, ma'am.
Well, that doesn't count because that's like going back home.
1900 store says, as I said, time to move to eBay from Etsy.
Yeah.
Or you
should.
Or you can sell both. There's nothing saying you can't sell in both places.
That's true.
Let's see. Yeah, we would be banned from future cruises. Junk Trader says it was just announced. Look it up.
The Canada thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If we had Paul Rose with us, he would break every dish on that boat. We'd have to turn around and go get new dishes.
Here,
Sorry,
I'll
Paul.
stack him for you. There you go.
1900 store about Etsy using my brand name that I created in 2014.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Did you patent it, or what do they do? A trademark, or
Yeah, trademark. But that's interesting. I'd love to know how that turned out. Jovio says they would probably add a few additional intercoastal rules after FAE cruise.
They would.
I think this is what 1900 store is saying. That did you forget me telling you about that? I didn't forget, but I forgot, if that makes sense. I remember it vaguely.
I did forget.
Paul Rose says, same here. Stuff ordered from China is often less than it would cost to post to China to the UK. It's unfair, broken system, and it's time for a change. Mm-hmm. So here's the news. What's more than likely to happen is it's going to change for us, but not for you guys. So it's your country's going to have to fight China over that battle. Larry Todd, Dudley Do Right must save Nell from fentanyl.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, I don't know anybody who's been affected by fentanyl, but if you do know someone, it's probably it's horrible.
The absolute worst thing that is taking out our children, our grandchildren. Even older folks are taking it. I encourage you to look up Peter Santinello, and he has given a wonderful video on, I believe it was up in, where is Primo from? Vermont. And it is eye-opening.
Andy Reno says Josh said they're pulling people out of their guns with machine guns out of their cars with machine guns at the border. Yes,
what
that was we talked about that on the PPP on Saturday. Duncan says I forgot to hit the like. Here come the return and the INADs. It sucks, but yeah, that's and you might have falling dishes too. Just to say, Glenda Bavona, Dudley Do Right.
Who's Dudley Do Right?
I don't know. Andre Squaw says January 2025 sales were horrendous, but February is starting off excellent.
That's good.
Dudley Do Right. That's a fictional character. Oh, that's Dudley right there. Oh, Dudley.
Is he supposed to be like a army?
Dudley. There's a lot of Dudleys. Yeah, that's Dudley Do Right.
Dudley Do Right.
Interesting. But I don't recall. I see. Look, I watch the quality cartoons. Like your He-Mans.
Well, how do you know that that's not quality if you've never watched it?
Because it doesn't look to be quality to me. Henri Squaw says January is excellent, horrendous. February starting off excellent. Larry Todd says Trailer Park Boys will guard the border. 1900 store. LOL, bro. Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa.
But I'm not Japanese. But you got to hear it.
Well, he lives
walk
there.
Up and down the street, you got to hear them say, "Nandeshika, unandeshika." I know that much.
Do you even know what you're saying?
Yes, I don't
what
understand.
Are you saying?
I don't understand. Darn kangaroos.
Yeah.
The killer koalas are the worst.
Yeah.
How many people have gone to go and pet one of those and got their face like chewed up?
I don't know, but
nasty.
they are so cute, but you stay as far away from them as possible. They are not nice.
Andy says the key to a refund is to spend more than you make and have a good tax person.
Well, we have a good tax person.
I do good on taxes. I just,
And you're telling me I need to spend more money? You got it, Andy.
It's not on personal stuff. It's spending more money you make on business. Jules says, cha-ching, like button works like a charm. Any thoughts on static sales versus live sales?
Nice.
I don't, but let's see what static sales versus live sales. And I'm going to see what Grok says.
I am so tired.
Don't do that.
I am sorry.
I'm not a big fan of live sales.
I hate
I'm not.
sales.
It's just, look, I think if you are selling on Whatnot, because there's eBay Live, but it's not, doesn't have the same audience as Whatnot. I really do think that you're better reserved the things that aren't selling too well on eBay, reserving that stuff for whatnot and moving that. It's just like a way to clearance out your items. Because if you have good stuff and you're selling it on whatnot, you're losing money as far as I'm concerned. Now you're flipping it faster, so maybe you have just a large haul of stuff and you just don't have a way to get it all listed as fast as you want it. You just want it gone fast. Well, then your live sales are going to do better, I think. So that's kind of my take on that. I really will do a whatnot sale every once in a while for A, the experience, and B, just to move it finally. I like having tubs of clothing that I come across, and the intention was there to list it on eBay, but I have so much other good stuff that it's just going to sit. So might as well just list that on whatnot, make a few $100. Jules says, "Ching, like like button works like a charm." For sure. John Doe says, "Stacker, an ex of mine mentioned Trailer Park Boys. She was making fun of them. I checked them out and ended up binge watching the entire show."
It was the cat.
It was the cat?
It was the cat.
We have a neighborhood cat that likes to walk in front of my door and set off my doorbell.
And I scared him. His tail was about super fluffy.
Keith says, "Kangaroos, they can do damage. Stay away from them." Mm-hmm. Larry Todd says, "John Doe, that was a great fun show."
Which one?
Great, John Doe? I don't know.
The guy?
No, he said John Doe.
Doolittle?
Biff Boffo says, "When I see those videos of jack kangaroos on YouTube, I say no thank you to that." I saw the video of the guy there's a deer that was like trying to fight him, and he was wrestling the deer to calm him down, but the deer kept coming. Pitco says, "What the heck going on, John? The mics work lightning great, picture good, Stream Deck works, even the like button working. Did you just buy a new studio?" No, but
You can do it!
hopefully that sounded okay.
Hopefully we're back in business.
Yes.
Because, we've had enough. Like, it is on the verge of embarrassment because it was getting bad. It's one thing after another, and it's very frustrating when you're trying to run all of this.
I was going to start using Primo's Sanford and Son opening music because it really is like, it felt like I was running. If Sanford and Son was to start up a live stream, it would be the way we've had it the last month, just all over the place. Let's see. Duncan's always killing with ephemera sales, but they seem to die off when I watch this show and the crickets start appearing.
You're not telling the truth.
No. That means you watch the show and you're not listing. You got to get to work. You got to work through the show. Paul says, "John, I gave FAA and Primo a shout out on a UK reseller stream earlier. Hopefully we'll get some more eyeballs coming over." Well, thank you.
Nice.
I appreciate that. You know what?
What's the reseller name?
I'll tell you this. If I didn't get another new viewer or another new person in the chat, but the trade-off was I didn't lose anyone in the chat currently, then I would take that. I don't care if we grow the channel like that. I mean, if we do, we do. But I'd hate to lose somebody who's been a consistent viewer. We have no one design. I don't know what happened to Ken. I don't know what happened to Tommy Bernard and some other folks. Maybe, just maybe, they got sick of watching my mug, which is possible because I have to see it every day. But I don't know. It just makes you kind of scratch your head. You just don't want to see anyone leave the channel. Like we really like the community.
Car Boot Chris.
Paul Rose says, well, I think I just read that. 1900 store. "John, make a video about how to do a promote listing for beginners." How to do a promote listing for beginners? Okay. Well, we could do that. It's not. I don't do campaigns per se. I go in and I determine if that item I'm just listing, everything I list is going to be promoted just by the nature of what I'm listing. But what percentage is this item best suited for? Is it 2.1%, or is it, like for most of my stuff, anywhere from 8 to 10%? But it's all determined pretty much by competition. But yeah, I could do a video. Biff Buffalo says, "Some of those kangaroos look like and act like they've done hard time." Yeah, they're pretty scary looking too.
They're frightening.
Charles says, "This will make it better for Taiwan." Do you think that it would? Because with the Panama Canal thing, trying to push China out of there, and China might be like, you know what, we're done with this. We're just going to move in, take Taiwan, and, you know, call it a day. I don't know. Just gotta get your popcorn out and see what happens. Basket Noodle just ate dinner, so nice to see you.
What'd you have?
And then Cha-Ching King speaking at the boss this year.
You are?
Yeah.
See, there's going to be a lot of really good speakers. I'm really kind of wanting to go.
Well, you might get that choice.
I might get that choice.
Well,
when is boss? I forgot.
It's next month.
Is it next month?
Yeah. Jules says, I do know those household necessities are picking up and collectibles and such is slower. So I'm switching up on that inventory sourcing. Example, water filters for fridge have been selling great. Yes.
Yeah.
Because people are always going to need that, right? No one's going to go without fresh water out of their fridge.
Yeah, we sell water filters. We sell, I mean, obviously you know that we sell parts for like coffee makers, vacuums. The parts literally sell themselves because people can't buy them. Just an example, John had a listing for all the parts for a Breville coffee maker, and he kept the listing active by keeping one thing of like just a pack of screws in it. Somebody bought the pack of screws.
No, we had 2 packs of screws from 2 different machines. So whatever when I take apart these machines, all the screws that accumulate, just put them in a little baggie. And my thought is, let's put this in the listing. No one's ever going to buy them. It'll keep the listing live because I don't like using the out of stock option. But someone came in, bought the pack of screws, and I'm like, that's weird. And then someone came across afterwards and said, hey, will you take $10? Because I had the screws for like $17 for the package of screws, knowing that no one would pay $17 for a pack of screws. And they did. And then here comes another person asking me to give them I'm like, take it. I can get more screws, I guess.
Yeah, so, I mean, people are looking for things so they don't have to buy a brand new unit of whatever unit. They want to be able to replace the part that's broken and move on.
Mike Mecco meetups. Yes, there will be awesome speakers at the Boss. I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it.
I want to ask somebody who's been to Boss, because my question is, I want to see all of them. So when they all speak and they all go up, I want to hear everybody talk. I don't want to be broken off into groups and rooms. And, you know, you could listen to so-and-so here and so-and-so there. I want to see everybody.
This is multiple days. It's like 2 or 3 days.
And do they do it that way, or do they break it up?
No, it's everyone goes and listens to the speakers. So you don't get broken up.
Okay.
From what I understand. Jovis says, is there a 1-day ticket pass? You two got to go to Boss. Katie and Vicky will be upset if you don't go.
Yeah.
I don't know if they would be upset if I didn't go.
They were upset we didn't go last year.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't get that vibe that matters if I go or not. You need gifts, goods, and books. Hey, FA fam, it's been a crazy day and late, but it's good to see you two. No tariffs for Canadians, thankfully, as we're good neighbors.
You are.
Yes.
You are a good neighbor.
Look, the Canadian people, I mean, are cool.
I've never met a Canadian I didn't like.
I think the country's government is kind of whacked out, though.
Your government is really just off the wall.
And see, I can say that because I don't have to worry about getting like arrested or debanked or whatever for saying that.
Debunked?
No, you get debanked according.
Debanked?
You cannot bank. You have to put all your cash underneath your bed if you say something bad about the government.
Oh, I mean, Josh is constantly getting.
I don't know. But Larry Way Out says, I'm not going to Boss Reseller Remix. The $400 per person seems like a huge cost. So I am frugal, not cheap. It sounds better. I'm going to Nashville. No cost for the meetup except for the hotel. To be honest with you, if someone was to say, look, you either go to Boss, pay $400 a piece, that's $800, or you go to Nashville, it's probably not all that much more to go to Nashville. My only thing is the dogs, but I'll just find a way to figure that out. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, but isn't there like only a week in between the two?
There's not much time. Well,
2 weeks in between.
Yeah, and I have my trip at the end of March for my golf thing, so I don't know what that's going to look like. Yeah. Jovial says eBay does that. I bought something a couple weeks ago, and eBay sent an alert on my phone for the same item, but less expensive. What the hell? Yep. Zen Kitties unboxed. Slow sales for me, hoping things pick up after people get their tax return. Yes. That's something to look forward to. So I think the end of January is when things started to open up for people to submit their returns. And so from now through mid-April is we should be looking at people having some money in their pocket. Yeah. So get your stuff listed for sure. Duncan likes ham and pineapple.
We already know that.
That's not good.
It's great.
Duncan says, I don't have a car. I have a car and Uber. My friend went Uber. Okay, you don't have a car?
Driver. Wait. I don't have a
car and driver.
A car and driver. My friend went Uber.
But if you are going to have something to eat, and it makes no sense to take an Uber to go get something to eat like pizza when you can have it just all within one shot delivered to you.
Depending on, you didn't see what the fees are. You don't know if it's cheaper.
Reef to See Forever says Canadian bacon and pineapple.
I haven't had one of those pizzas.
That's not good.
So long.
You're killing your pizza.
Because you're just a blob.
It just doesn't need to be sweet like that.
Yes.
Susan Phelps says, I had a buyer buy some jewelry and then open a return. Said change their mind. I told them when I get the item back, I'll issue a refund. Surely that won't go against me as far as my rating. No. If they put change mind as the return reason, it's not a problem at all. If they put not as described, then even if they said it's, something, maybe they're not happy with it, or it wasn't what they thought it was, or they told you they changed their mind. If they put a nefarious reason like, no, this wasn't as described, then it counts against you. Nessa says, it makes no sense that they do that as a sale was already been made. They want more paperwork?
They don't care about us.
I just
they're
I can't explain it. This doesn't make good business sense to me.
I don't understand the benefit to them for doing something like that. It's hurting your sellers, and your sellers are the reason you have a platform.
Yeah, we're gonna get this Stream Deck worked out.
It's gonna have to go off a short cliff.
Yeah, I just haven't worked on that part of it. My main concern was the microphones, getting those fixed, but we've done that, so now. Yeah. Flipping with the trailer, did you guys see ADH Dave's video today? No, his stuff doesn't pop up on my feed. Really, I don't watch a lot of YouTube to begin with. I watch Primo's lives on Mondays and Wednesdays, but I really don't do a whole lot. I'm just busting butt trying to get stuff done. We got Peter Kornichuk says, ADH Dave said he's dropping eBay for Did. What are your thoughts on YouTube influencers? I think that there are certain, and I don't know Dave from the back of my hand, so I don't know his business that much. But I can tell you that there's a lot of YouTubers out there who, if YouTube shut down tomorrow, they'd go back to a 9-to-5 job. There's a number of YouTubers that could not make full-time work with what they're selling. Just saying. Or how they're selling it. The stories are good. The adventures are good. I think a lot of people tune in for all that. But, the real part of reselling, rarely a lot of these channels really get into. And I'm curious as to how well those channels are really doing and how they would actually do if it weren't for eBay. If you're ever curious on what an influencer makes on YouTube, go on to Social Blade and pull up their channel name in the search and multiply what it says they get per month by 5, and that's 4 to 5, and that's about what they're really getting. And so tell yourself, if someone's making $10,000 to $15,000 on YouTube, which ain't happening here, but other channels are, do they really need to make a whole lot on eBay? It's just not. It's like it's like relying on my second account to pay bills. It's whatever that account makes, it makes. It's not what I need to make my my bills get paid. Pitco says clothing will change to good by default on the 4th. Yes. So if you have something that is horrible,
don't change anything now.
Well, yes, because, well, here's the thing. If you have clothing that's really nice and it's just used, it's almost new. It would qualify as new, but it's not because it's used. Then it's only going to be listed as good, and you're not going to be able to take advantage of being able to call it excellent. And being able to call it excellent is sort of like the difference between selling a used electronics item or maybe a refurbished one with a warranty. You can get more money for that refurbished one with the warranty. Whereas that condition from good to excellent could make the difference of either a sale and a few more dollars in the price.
Wait.
Okay, I'll get to it. Underscore says, I didn't see the option to change anything.
Maybe you can't change
So-
anything until the after.
Yeah, so I
goes
thought
into
I
effect.
thought the message that we were given said to go ahead and start doing that and making the changes over. So I'll have to go and check the few clothing items we have on the other store to see what's going on with that. Extra pineapple, no thank you. Just clothing, yes, just clothing. The three conditions you have: fair, you have good, and you have excellent. Susan Phelps says, well, my flu had last week, no could... Wait, well, my flu had last week, no could actually... See, this isn't just me. I'm doing my best. Could no actually be COPT, according to doctor. I went on Sunday. Fourth doc visit since 117, retiring next year in January to live more of my life. What an awakening. That's awesome.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's awesome. I
well,
love
I
that.
hope you're feeling better.
Paul Rose will take anything on pizza, but meat feast is king.
Yeah, that's him.
I like everything. I like all the veggies.
No, you don't
and
like everything. That's a lie.
on the everything pizza. Now, of course, don't give me sardines or whatever the hell they are.
Pineapple,
No pineapple.
artichokes.
But these aren't common things on pizza. These are things you have to ask for, to be put on your pizza. I'm talking about your standard, like, combination everything pizza. I'll eat that all day long.
Does anybody like artichoke hearts on their pizza? I do.
1900 store. I have 50 listings on eBay right now, but no sales. Don't know how to promote my listings. Well, in your listings, you can go to the bottom. Now, I don't know how you're currently listing on the phone or on the PC, but in the lister itself, near the bottom, it'll ask you if you want to promote your listings, and you just set a percentage above 2% or higher to get started. But yeah, I think that's going to help you tremendously once you start promoting your items. Spam, they're in Burlington, Vermont.
Because when I was watching it, I
They
thought
have
of you guys.
They have the coat factory out there.
The
Serial 04, the Burlington Coat Factory.
Oh, you're so.
Serial 0411, getting rid of a ton of butters this weekend, mostly glasswares. Kicked up my sales as a result. Need to watch my free shipping on records though. Under $5 net on a few, better than a landfill.
True.
So be careful. I've sold many LPs, and I always do media mail based on the weight and dimensions of the package. Once we get it all protected and everything, never sold a record with free shipping. Nissa says, Jenna, I just love your Instagram reels. You're a dear heart.
Aw, thank you. Today is my nephew's birthday. Yesterday was my niece's birthday. And the day before that was my brother-in-law's birthday. So we have 3 days of birthdays for February. So I was my
Susan says,
celebratory.
no, you can't do it till tomorrow. The options are not there right now.
Yeah,
And I can't
that's-
even do it right now. This stupid thing.
Yeah.
What a bummer. But do it tomorrow then.
You can do it!
Here's the link for the Discord. 1900 store says, yes, I did trademark. Should get my paperwork from the U.S. in a few days.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Okay. That's good.
Mike says, did someone mention a boat ride? Here's an idea. Why don't we all encourage Pete, John, and Kevin to have another reseller rally event? Maybe a write-in campaign would be fun. I'll start it.
Yeah.
Well, that is your job, sir.
Let's
signed up.
go.
You signed up for the meetup guy, and you should be emailing them daily, finding out.
No,
We had a good-
don't do it. Don't do it.
all right,
daily.
every other day.
Yeah.
But no,
Oh.
email each one a different day until they finally get together and say, well, fine, we'll get, there's enough demand to get this. Yeah, we'll get this reseller rally going because we had a good time. I'd do it again. Let's see. Duncan says the koalas have vampire teeth. If you go to pat them, they'll bite your fingers clean off. They look cute though. Yeah, they do look cute. Duncan says, "Oh please, no, Jan, Jen, I'm struggling here to stay away and PPP." We'll go PPP. Gail says, "A good show. Dudley Do Right to the rescue." And Spam says to Paul, "Primo found him before you responded." Probably got to be too old to remember. I don't know. I know about Dudley Do Right, but I never cared enough to remember or to even watch when I was a kid. Jovia says, "Wasn't Dudley Do Right on the Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle?" My buddy did a great Rocky impression. Richard Spinowski, "When it comes to bears, black fight back, make noise, brown get down, cover up, white good night, they will end you just for fun." Well, all I know, you guys know the story. We were at Yosemite and we were doing a hike. We were hiking to the falls, and it was about a 2-mile hike, and we were a solid mile and a half into this hike, and we were on the side of a mountain, and we were following a trail up on the side of the mountain, so there's nowhere to go, and it curved around, and we come up across a fresh pile of what we thought was like bear shit, and we're like, okay, now what do? We don't know what's on the other side of this mountain here, where it turns. Do we go back? And we kind of stood there for a minute, and Jenna's like, "Fuck it, let's go." And so we went around, and we didn't find a bear there, thankfully, but we could have walked right into something that we weren't looking to deal with. So it worked out, but it was a pretty funny moment. Let's see. Keith says the reseller name is Car Boot Chris. Okay, I'll have to check that out. Cha-Ching King, for what it's worth, I haven't had a single sale all day till I logged on here. $225 for a big green egg. Genius. Love it. Well, glad to help you with your sale for hitting the like button. And we've got Mr. Sadie says, "Veggies have no place on Pizza John, but I love y'all." Onions. You got to have onions on there. Little garlic. Got to have garlic. Some will argue I like the red bell peppers too, but yes, you got to have your pizza loaded up with meats. I need to get my smoker set up and make some pizzas I've got the pizza stone set up. But thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you so much. Let's see. Happy Reality Passion Happy. Thank you for the updates. Well, no, thank you for being here. Appreciate that. John Doe says, "Hear that, Elizabeth? I'm coming to join you." Elizabeth! Sanford and Son? Yep. Charles McBride, "Looks like Josh is going to be at the border." Who knows what's going to happen. Duncan VR, "I say you two keep doing what you're doing. It seems to be working as far as sales go." Yeah, we're going to keep plugging away. Duncan also says, "I just got my free 68 returns. Thanks, John. You never fail to deliver." We never fail. We got Brett here. Congress is talking about ridding income tax due to tariffs. I'm all for that. Tariffs on California and Mexico are made to protect the border, and both countries already made deals to add to protection. That's winning. Yes. But yeah, I am not against paying upwards of $15,000 to $20,000 a year in taxes. I'm not against that. Cha-Ching King, the sessions do not run concurrently. They run one after the other. And then Mike is saying there's only one speaker at a time. So they make it so everyone can hear.
Oh, good. That's exactly what I wanted.
So maybe I'll go and play a little poker while you're...
Really?
Yeah, that'd be cool too. Make the money back. Mike Mecco, "It does matter to Katie and Vicky, John."
Mm-hmm. See?
I don't know. I honestly, I try to gauge. See, I'm a member of this YouTuber side of the community, where I try to gauge like my place. Sometimes, like, do I even belong in this group, kind of thing. Try to reach out, go into some of the channels, type words of encouragement. I did that on New Year's Eve on their channel. And I typed, a couple responses to their thoughts about reselling, in every single instance, they just skipped over my comment where they're reading others. I'm like, okay, well, I guess that tells me everything I need to know. So it is what it is. I don't let that kind of stuff bother me, but at the same time, I certainly don't want to go to events if I'm not wanted there. And I think a lot of people feel that way. 1900 store.
Crazy.
I don't know. 1900 store. I can get Japanese cameras almost for free at the auctions. Nobody buys them. Should I sell them on eBay for parts they're not working? 100%. If you can get those things for free, sell those on eBay.
Or
People will
next
buy
to
those
free.
up. Yes. Ching King says, I'm heading to Nashville too. I'm looking forward to it.
I want to go to Nashville.
Yeah, I think I have a better chance of going to Nashville than I have going to the Boss Reseller Remix for myself. John Doe says, Michigander here. I've been to Canada many times and I see them here all the time. I've met a few I didn't like, mostly the ones who grabbed items I wanted from a garage sale. Gail says, we should get lots of tax breaks now. Just announced that Trumper was going to end foreign aid. Yes, I think there's a agency called USAID.
Yeah, he just put Marco Rubio in charge of it.
And I think they got rid of it. They dismantled it. Larry Wayout says, Nashville is in April. Nebraska is 2 weeks after Boss. So
it's in April. Wait, when do you go to?
I go the end of March to my golf thing. It's a golf tournament that we have like 90 people out there. We do it every year. It's just total fun.
They know about it.
Yeah, and you guys know
I
about it.
will not be going live without him. Don't even ask.
We'll work out a deal.
No, there's no deal.
Cha-ching King, pineapple on pizza for the win. Well, thank you, Cha-ching King. Appreciate you on that. Thank you for the super chat. But even with the $10 super chat, I will not eat anything with pineapple on it. I'm not a fan.
He doesn't like fruit or vegetables. He is a meat eater to the core.
Yeah, but thank you so much, Cha-ching King. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
And we appreciate the hard work that you do on your channel also. Go check out Cha-ching King's channel. Mike Metco says, Boss is March 10 to 13, and Nashville is April 25 to 27. So that's like my thing is smack dab in the middle of that.
Yeah,
so.
yours is...
Larry Wayout says, Scott is going to be great to see you in Nashville.
Scott?
I don't know where Scott is. Where is Scott? I haven't seen Beard, so they're talking about Scott. I haven't seen him. Duncan says, no, Uber Eats. They pick up the food and deliver it to the mansion.
Yes.
There you go.
I mean, shit, you've got a freaking car and driver.
Plains to Profit is the weekend I'm going to be gone. March 28th to 29th in Omaha. There's a lot going on, Mike. You going to be able to afford all this airfare?
Mike's going to be a busy flying king.
Mike's looking at the calendar and going, what the hell did I sign up for? I've got all these events to travel to.
But he loves it.
Larry Todd says, Beard twisted my arm. I am now planning to go to Nashville.
If Todd goes, we have to go.
Well, we'll have to figure that out. Kara B says, pepperoni, pineapple, and bacon with the white sauce is amazing.
Ooh, that does sound good, but I haven't ever had it.
Is that like an Alfredo sauce?
Yeah.
Happy Reality, Passion Happy says, this is why Trump charging other country tariffs so that he can work towards stopping IRS. A lot of taxes come out of my check, so I am happy and would look forward to stop taxes. I can use my money.
I would love to be able to use our money.
Let's see what happens here. John Doe said, Dibdit sucks, mostly death pile garbage. Here's the thing.
I think that's a terrible name for one.
Well,
Dibdit.
Here's the thing. These sites, one thing you guys want to keep in mind, these sites that are through district, if you sign up as an influencer over one of these sites, so you can name it whatever you want and set it up, you get like 5% of all sales that happen on that platform. So you really do want to promote your, in this case, they have Dibdit, right? And they get a cut of that. I think district gets 8%, and then they give 5% to the hosting creator influencer.
Did you see Mr. Sadie?
I sure did. You had stepped aside.
Thank you, Mr. Sadie.
So it would be in anyone's interest to promote something they're going to get paid for. I can tell you, it's not a knock on district at all. I just feel like if with anything, it's about traffic. We can, there's been a lot of people over time that's asked me, hey, is there going to be something that's going to come out of the blue and, take down eBay? And my answer is probably not. And if they do, I'll be there. But until then, I'm going to stay on eBay. Mike says, in my humble opinion, Boss is a good value for the money. Over 15 speakers, 3 days, food included, breakout groups, plenty of vendors to be able to talk to, including eBay reps.
Breakout groups. That's what threw me off.
Yeah.
When they say breakout groups, I want to hear everybody. I don't want to be in a small group.
Yeah. Do they have a breakout poker room I can go to? Flipping from the trailer says he is going to do the same as Paul, but only dibbed it.
Okay.
Yeah. Scott Ann says, I hit the like button. Within 4 minutes, I had a sale. I'm telling you, we put the positive karma out there, and it works. And so does the button, yes.
The button!
Caribbean says, list perfectly as a way to bulk edit all those listings quickly. There's a way to bulk edit that. And I think, does TreeCat have a way to bulk edit like that? Like you can go in and, that'd be a good feature for them to add. Mm-hmm. Keith says, you can't make changes till midnight on clothing. Mm-hmm. So is that midnight Eastern, midnight Pacific? Because they're based on the West Coast. Basket Noodle says, dead fish on pizza? No, my dad used to order pepperoni and anchovies.
You're a liar.
I am
He
not.
Never did that when
I was a kid, he did.
Oh.
It is certainly an acquired taste. Lilac Seller, Meg says, hey all, got here just in time to endorse artichoke hearts on pizza.
See?
Yes.
Wait, go back up to Anissa said something.
What? Well, I'm a good...
Right there.
Okay.
Artichokes on anything is delish. Yes, I agree with you. I love artichokes.
I'll withhold my comment.
Okay,
but we have fajita. Fajitas would be good on pizza. But you should list consistently too. I agree.
Yes, you should.
Yes. Happy Reality says, looking forward to paying no more taxes. Well, don't get too far in front of yourself. It hasn't happened. A lot of these changes that the president wants to put into effect, a lot of them have to be endorsed by the Congress. So if Congress ain't doing it, then it ain't happening. Especially like getting rid of an agency like that. You Want You Need says, yes to artichoke hearts on a Greek pizza, feta, Kalamata olives, red onion, ground beef, and pepperoni peppers equals Oprah.
Oprah.
She can't stand, by the way, who eats ground beef on pizza?
I don't like the ground beef and I don't like the olives.
Pitco says, flipping ain't easy. You missed the second membership.
Oh, no.
Oh, we got... Okay, sorry about that.
Midwest Picker,
Thank you, Keith.
congratulations. Thank you, Keith.
Keith was generous enough to gift a membership, and Midwest Picker is the recipient. So be sure to thank them when you get a chance.
Nice.
And thank you, Keith, for being just awesome to the channel. I just can't say any more than I do. It cheapens my appreciation for you when I speak, so I'll just keep my mouth shut. Trying to get to the next comment. Mike says, John, you may not realize it, but you are a valued member of the Las Vegas community. Just got to stay at it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a number of people that I enjoy talking to. In fact, mostly everyone. Every time we get together with the group, we just enjoy it. But XYZ says, you'll see no differences in tax breaks unless you're a billionaire. Mm-hmm. Jovial says, Katie and Vicky have skipped over my comments as well. However, I don't think it was intentional. Oh gosh, at least I hope it wasn't intentional.
I don't think it's intentional. It is very difficult. You know how it is.
No, I don't know how it is. Because look, I may take extra time on my lives to do this, but I think if people are willing to take the time to say hello, or to say something that's relevant to the conversation, I am going to almost every time highlight what they have to say and make sure that they know that they are appreciated, because I have been ghosted too many times by these creators who say, and this started back in 2018 when a certain person by the Bay was saying, hey, reach out, we want to hear from you, blah, blah, blah. So you think, you know what, I'm going to tell them my story. And you tell them your story, and it's like crickets. And well, maybe he just didn't hear me or didn't look at his email. So, 6 months down the road, they say it again, you do it again, and no reply. It's like, yeah, this guy's just saying it to get, and it just makes me feel, it made me feel like, you know what? If I'm ever in this position where I have people that are good enough to tune into the channel to watch whatever I have to say, if I have a channel, I'm going to make sure I do the best that I can to make sure that they know they're appreciated, and I'm going to read most of the stuff, unless it's just crazy, most of the stuff they have to say, and that's why I do what we do. We could easily do a 1-hour live stream, be done with it, and probably get to the point on a lot of this stuff, but I think it's the community that I highlight with the lives that we do. That's what we do it.
I don't think I know not everybody runs their YouTube channel like you do. And that's fine. That's okay. Not everybody reads the comments.
But it's
like
important. But it's important to me.
No,
That's why I do it.
I know.
Chaching King, I think he meant me. Thanks, Larry Way Out. I haven't been to Las Vegas before.
You haven't?
Oh, wow. There's a few places to go to here.
There's just a couple.
Yeah. Paul says, I'm with you, John. I like my food to have a face.
No.
I don't want mine to have a face.
Look at it like that.
No face. Mike says, no problem. I'm looking forward to them all, and others not announced yet. Uh-oh.
Ooh.
You got some secrets. Meetup events to be announced. North Carolina, Florida, Utah, St. Louis.
Ooh.
Interesting.
I want to go to the Florida.
Baskin Noodle says, take care, folks. I have to feed the Puskin.
Puskin. Puss.
Baskin Noodle says, anyone thinks taxes going away need to drown in potato chips? No way, just noise. Big Dre says, sad thing about Mercari and Posh is that eBay's still outselling both platforms, even though I'm not listing on any platforms right now. Also, I eat anchovies for the health benefits.
Ugh. I just can't do it. I'll eat anchovies in a Caesar salad.
Baskin Noodle says, I've been depreciated.
Oh,
and
no, you're not.
No,
your
value
value
here,
is 1,000% to us.
Yes. Without the all the explanations that I can't understand about things that are being talked about, we would miss you terribly. Woo to you says, hey guys, thanks for being here. Chaching King says, I can't imagine trying to keep up without the comments in a live show, or with the comments in a live show. I've only done one on my channel, and it was overwhelming. I truly appreciate those who can keep up with it. I gotta tell you, it was the first 6 months of doing lives were like stressful. It was like, wow, and what do I do? There's no course on how to give. I guess there might be one on YouTube, course on how to do a live stream. And hell, I probably am doing it wrong. But to me, people wonder why I read all the comments. It's because it's important to me. Keith says, John, you and Jenna add great value and content to the community, and you may not think it, but you contribute a lot of info, tips, and tricks, and more. But most of all, you keep it real and make us feel like fam. Well, awesome.
Aw, thanks, Keith.
Then I've done what I set out to do. So thank you.
We need to do a shipping video. I know that
She's
you
getting
guys
fired up to do a video.
No, I'm not doing a video like that. It's just going to be like, you're here, you're going to watch me do the shipping.
John Doe says, I saw a video filled with resellers last year, seen a lot of the popular YouTubers in it, then saw you, and you towered over them, making them look like little people that might explain things. 6'2". I mean, I don't know. We got together, the Trash to Cash.
They are a bunch
group.
of short guys.
Yes, the Trash to Cash group got together. It might be on the outro that I have today for the show, so tune in, wait till the end of the show and see. But if you look at the group of people that were there for the Trash to Cash, I think that was like, 2-3 years ago when they came to Vegas. I'm a lot taller than a lot of those folks.
The one he's referring to is when we went in the little side room, remember, in Cincinnati, when we went in that little room and they were live and you came up behind them. Do you remember?
Yeah.
I'm looking at you and asking you.
You're looking at who?
Your face.
I don't know. You're looking at me now. You're looking straight ahead as far as I'm concerned.
You're on my last nerve. I can't wait to go to California.
XYZ says, thank you for noticing my comment. I wish and hope I'm wrong, but not much hope, Well,
I know. I think a lot of us hope our doubt and apprehensiveness is all.
Just gotta wait and see.
Yeah.
You know, have an open mind and see what happens. Big Dre says omega-3 fatty acids essential for heart health, brain function, and reducing inflammation. Calcium crucial for strong bones and teeth. Iron essential for red blood cell production.
I take all of that in a pill form.
Carl Lexar Findings says hello.
Hello.
Nice to see you. And Big Dre says selenium, an antioxidant that supports immune function and reduces cancer risk. Vitamin B12 essential for nerve and blood cell health.
Yep.
You know, I always wonder, I've been taking vitamins for a long time, but is it kind of too late for someone who's lived all their life without like even taking these kind of vitamins and
No.
like, I don't know, over 50, 60, they just start taking it. I don't know. XYZ, my son likes sardines on pizza. Ugh. I like sardines on the end of a fishing hook. That's it.
Yeah.
1900 store, dynamic ad rate, fixed ad rate, no idea. This time, do not forget about the video for promote listing for beginners. Well, I've got it written down here. I've got a list of things I want to do videos on, but I'll put this on there. But now, dynamic ad rate versus fixed ad rate. Dynamic is one where, I don't know if you've ever noticed it, but you can have two of the same kind of items. You list one and it says, oh, we recommend you promote at 10.1%. And then the other one will say, we recommend you promote at 12.1%. You're going, what the hell? Why did it change? Well, that's the dynamic rate, and it's constantly going up and down based on a number of factors that eBay will be happy to tell you about. I'm not going to go into it, but a number of factors. And if you set your listing for a dynamic rate, your rate's going to go up and down along with that suggested rate, which in my opinion for most items is way too high. I do look at dynamic just to see what silliness, you know, some people are tricked into actually using. But I will say, I will set a limit. To me, it's 10%. I won't go higher than 10% on anything. And so for some people, 2% is the highest they'll ever do. That's it, 2%. So you got to figure out what you're comfortable with. But I would never do dynamic, by the way. And if you do dynamic, there's an option to say, don't go over this amount. But usually, most categories are over 10%. So if I try to do dynamic with that option selected, it's the same as me just saying 10%. So I'm anywhere between 8 to 10% on most items, and it works pretty well for me. Let's see. Cha-ching King says, John, oops, this thing moved up. John should tell the story about the brilliant idea I had for a promotion experiment that no one had ever done. Well, except FAE, LOL. He thought of it first, dang it. Yeah, he promoted 100% on some of his items, and it didn't work out. It's don't promote that high. I didn't sell an item. I think Cha-ching King sold an item, and the way it works out, if you promote and sell something at 100%, you've got it, and hopefully you don't have calculated added on that for your shipping, because what happens is, let's say you have $100. $100 is what you have the item for, and $10 is your shipping. So that's $110. Forget tax for a second. Push tax off to the side, even though that is factored in. But that's $110 in fees. So if you're at, let's say 20% between promoted listings and your final value fees, well, you're on the hook for like $22 in fees for, that is the final value fee, but you're also on the hook for 100%. So that's another $110. So basically, you got to send that item out and pay eBay $110 to sell that item. So it's ridiculous. It's too high. That's ridiculous. Don't go any higher than 10% is my advice to anyone out there. Paul Rose, do you feel drained after a live, John? Must be tough with the comments. You do a great job. Like Jenna says, lots don't address in the comments at all on lives. It's tough, but I enjoy the conversation. So time goes by very fast. It's not like, oh my God, 15 minutes, we're 15 minutes in and I'm just done with this. Rarely do I ever feel that way, and usually if I do, it's because I'm not feeling well.
Yeah. I think it's so much more that we just look forward to hanging out with you guys, that we literally feel like we're sitting in a room with you guys and just chopping it up, and that's what we wanted it to be.
Duncan says, sorry, I was listening and fell asleep. What John says for the last 20 minutes?
It's no big deal.
I got to tell you, I'm worried. If you're listening and fell asleep, I wouldn't worry about this live stream. I'd worry about what the hell you put in your listings. Go back and check that. XYZ says choice rate, suggested rate, and the 200% rip-off rate. Yeah. Find where you're comfortable. Maybe it's 2%. I think that most will benefit by going above that. Maybe 3, 4, 5%. But it just 8 to 10 works.
If you want to be a successful reseller, you have to promote, period.
You look at it as a billboard on the side of the road.
Right.
So eBay's saying to you, okay, if you promote at 2%, we'll put you here behind these bushes. Someone might see your ad at a certain angle, but it's going to be kind of hard, from the road. Or we'll put you on top of this building where everyone's looking at it anyway, and it's going to be a little bit more for that. And it's kind of the way you want to look at it. You're promoting your items in your store, and the more exposure you can give it. Now, is it overkill to put that same ad on the back of a plane? Probably. That's maybe you have one item. Just promote it at a certain rate, 5, 6, 7%, and call it a day. If you want to, put a little bit more into it, 8 to 10% is where I'm at in most cases. And it's worked real well for us. So I can't really tell you what to promote. I can tell you that what we're doing is working for us. So you guys have seen the numbers. So that's all. I let the numbers speak for themselves. Paul says, it's never too late to take care of yourself, John. Says the smoker, do as I say, not as I do.
That's right.
Well, darn it, put that cigarette down.
My stomach is just roaring.
Yes, you can go to the bathroom there, Duncan. You can too if your stomach's roaring.
Not like
Big
that.
Dre says the reason I started eating sardines is because I started watching Canned Fish Files with Matthew Carlson YouTube channel.
Canned Fish Files?
Gotta be better channels to watch, right? Carl Lexar findings. I really love the latest update to the bulk feature on Vendu. Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's really something that TreeCat, we really got to get them on to get if they don't have it already. I don't know if they do or not. You said that you don't know if they have it or not. Have you had to use it?
I don't do the listing, and I would never edit a listing.
You need gifts, goods, and books. You can also adjust the dynamic rate to have an adjusted weighted percentage. So if eBay says promote at 10%, you can add 2.1%, so it promotes to 12.1. That's a good feature, I think. I just don't use it. And I think I did a video. People were telling me, John, enough with the promoted listings already. This is like a year and a half ago. I definitely believe I had a video out on that. Tachin King says, John didn't mention that he didn't mind me running with the video experiment, even though I was obviously stepping on his toes.
No.
I truly appreciate you guys. But that's the thing. I didn't think you're stepping on my toes. And I certainly didn't think that you needed to reach out and say, hey, I'm going to do this. Do you mind? It's, hey, there's people who are making videos all the time, and that content's been out there. And you know what? They put out videos of the same topic, and there's going to be elements of the viewing population that never saw mine, and they're going to see like, wow, he really went out on the limb to do this. So no, by all means, keep making great content, and you don't have to reach out to me.
Yeah, there is not one person that owns a topic for a video. So I think that everybody can come to the table when it comes to information. Your audience may be different from ours. You may have, certain people who watch your videos and your videos only, and that's okay.
And you know what? If I'm being just 100% honest with you, I really like the quality of your videos. And even if you did nothing more than rehash what I said, which, no, you did your own homework on it, you put your own money up on the line for it. Even if you rehashed everything that I said word for word, you do a pretty good job of it, and you probably do a better job of it. As far as I'm concerned, you do a really good job with your videos. Duncan says, I went back and checked the last listing, priced it wrong at $20,000. Whoopsie.
You may no more potty breaks or napping for you.
Yes, Duncan, no, promote it 79%. Leave yourself 21% profit there. 1900 store. Where is Jennifer Hayes? Not sure today. She's usually in the feed. I don't know. XYZ says no promotion equals very low sales. Our listings fluctuate depending on each item and what they suggest as the percentage we use. Yeah, it boils down to the number of views. So if you have an item that has a lot of competition, think of it as the higher you promote, the more views you're going to get. But remember, you have a lot of competition that's popping up in those searches. So those people are going to get those impressions and views as well, more than likely. So you want to give eBay every reason to put your listings higher than theirs. At least look at yours first before they go on to the next person. But let's say there's two of you and someone else that's selling that item. It makes really no sense to promote at a high rate at all. Now, the argument could be made, should you even promote at all? And I think you should for other reasons, like being placed in non-search results, like in someone else's listing. I think you should be promoting. But I mean, that's debatable. Everyone has their side to it. But if you've never promoted before and feel like your sales could be better, then you should take 2 weeks and try to do something with that. And don't promote at 2%. At the very least, promote a little bit above that, like 2.1% at the very least. Don't put yourself in the same boat as a segment of the selling population who feel like they have to promote, so they'll promote at the lowest amount. Get ahead of those people. We're getting near the end, but let's see here. Swamp Picker's with us. Thanks for being here. Big Drace is watching such channels comes with being a YouTube junkie. Yeah.
Wait, you
What did I miss?
that one right there.
Where?
This
You need was talking to Cha-Ching King.
It's
You
okay.
you and fellows like John have helped pave the way for newbies like me. Your step-by-step tutorials helped me to figure out so many things I couldn't have without you and John. Well, thank
Yes.
you. That's awesome. That's nice of you. Also, they say, does anyone own or have a monopoly on crickets or sea monkeys? Check with
Where
Duncan on
is
that.
our sea monkeys?
It's in the kitchen.
Oh.
Cha-Ching King says, note to self, start copying John's video word for word. No, because I don't speak good English half the time. So that would make you look like you don't know the hell you're talking about. So no, here's my only advice for you, Cha-Ching King, is to keep doing what you're doing, because you get a lot of views. The point comes across very clear. You do a very good job of it. 1900 store. A lot of people make videos about promote listings, but they are all over the place. Your videos are clear and on point. That's why I watch your videos. Well, thank you. Lewis Riley, I promote everything. However, I had high sale items. Didn't promote. They all sold. Yeah, and that's the outcome. When you, maybe it seems excessive. Why should I have to promote this item? Well, because
Some
a lot
items don't need to be promoted.
but some items have competition.
Yes.
So this argument about an iPhone will sell itself, I agree. If you are willing to wait, it may not sell overnight if you don't promote it. If you're willing to wait a few days and go without promoting it, I would promote it at a very low level if you do. But, we all have strategies. But if that item, and everyone has that item in their store that they've listed and they're wondering, why isn't it sold by now? Well, that means that you need to try something new. Maybe it's the title, or maybe you're not promoting enough on that item to get the exposure you need to get it gone. Let's see. Paul says, 1900 store. There's lots of factors. If you're selling rare, unique, or high sell-through rate items, you may not need to promote at all.
Yeah.
XYZ, if it suggests 12.5%, we use 5 to 7. If it says 4, then we won't bother promoting. That leaves a little meat to pick on after the fees and shipping costs. Yeah.
I don't think I have seen a suggested promoted rate below 9%.
I saw one at 4 point something percent, and I'm like,
As a suggested?
yeah,
I
I saw
haven't
one.
seen it for a long time.
Forgot what it was. Some kind of off the wall electronics item, but it was something.
Ooh.
I don't know, but I promoted lower. Of course, it makes no sense if they're suggesting 4 point something percent to promote at 10. So you gotta spend an extra moment. See, by the time I'm in the listing, I already know how many people I'm up against. I already have an idea of how many times that item sold in the last 90 days. And I'll even go into TerraPeak and see how well it's done in the last 3 years. Maybe it was hot 3 years ago and the item's not as hot now. So you got to take all those things into consideration when you're setting up your listing. And that's why I don't list 230,000 items a day. I list a solid, between 7 and 10 items a day and call it a day. And it's not really that I'm looking at the number of items I'm selling. I'm looking at how much money am I putting in my store every day. I've got a couple complete Roombas out there that are the new 10s, the iRobot Roomba 10, whatever, it's the entire setup. I haven't even gotten to those yet. Those things retail for $1,000 a piece. I list, a couple of those for $500 a pop. I'm good. I got $1,000 I just added to my store. John Doe says, for promoted, are you charging on the sold price or sold, tax, and shipping on everything? So if they buy your item for 10, you charge $5 shipping, that's 15, and taxes are, let's say, 80 cents, that's $15.80 that you're paying on fees on the entire thing. Kelly says, it's been telling me the suggested rate is 25%. It's only a matter of time before we hit 50.
25%?
But suggested rate is just that. I wouldn't use dynamic, guys. I think eBay is always looking for ways to get more money out of our pockets. And if we continue to comply with everything that they want us to do, because I think when someone looks at that suggested rate, they feel like, well, if I don't price my listing at that suggested rate, then I may not sell it, and they feel sort of compelled to do it. I think if we don't allow eBay to trick us, we can hold on to more of our money. We need to draw that line. I'm a firm believer of find whatever your max is and stick with that number and kind of work between 2.1% and that max for each item that you're selling to find out what works best for that item. And forget what eBay is suggesting and let somebody else fall for that. XYZ, they fluctuate. Most are higher, but I'm learning. Thank you both for your live chats. Have a great evening, everyone. Gotta go now. Happy listing. Yes. Nice to see you. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for coming in.
Mike G says, my average promotion is 3.5%, but there are some items that's so saturated that I promote at 12 to 15 to continue selling more in 1 year. If it was 2%, I would sell many like I want. Yeah, you just got to find out what works for you and have a bottom line. I'm not going any higher. And also, the most important part of it is buy as low as you can. That means you're haggling with that grandma at the yard sale. Don't feel bad. You're doing this as a business. And if she wants 5 for it, asking, hey, would you take 3? May not seem like a lot, but it can definitely make a difference of what you're able to do with your listings. And we're just talking promoted listings. We're not even talking about your coupons or your markdown sales. I do all of those things on all my listings, and I can't do it if I had to pay more money for the items that I'm selling. 1900 store. My eBay store is still a ghost store with 50 listings, and I'm selling antiques. Keep pumping up those listings. Go get those cameras, those Japanese cameras.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, those will be good.
Those are a gold mine.
Try to make them work. If they don't, then sell them as parts of repair. Tommy Z, hey fave YouTube couple. Well, nice to see you. Thank you for being here.
Z.
Lewis Riley says, I'm gonna move from dynamic and try a flat timber set and see what happens. Yeah, get off that
you'll have
dynamic.
to let us know how that works, how that goes for you.
Yeah, the first thing you're gonna notice is less impressions. But if you're paying upwards of 15 to 20% over and above final value fees, that's less money that's going in your pocket. Carl Lexar Findings says, thank you. Well, no, thank you guys for being here. And we're kind of at the end of it. But you're gonna hear a lot of talk about tariffs. You're going to hear a lot of talk about, the various things that sound scary that really we have absolutely no control over. This whole thing with the Minimis rule that is going to affect certain sellers. It is what it is, and just keep pushing forward, doing the things that you can do. And we're talking about like the promoted rates. Maybe some of you don't promote, some of you promote too high. Fix that, right? Work on those things and let all the other things fall into place. But figuring out what you need to do for your business is yet another example of how flipping ain't easy. And she's got something to say before she forgets.
I will not be here on Friday, just FYI, not that anybody cares.
Wow, we're going to lose half our viewers now. You should
My
have told them.
son is coming into town on Wednesday, and we're going to California on Friday. So
I will be here, and I will be here working. So tune in on Fridays live. And, oh, darn it, Mr. Sadie, pineapple belongs on a hat, not pizza, but I love y'all. Well, we love you, too. Thank you all for being here. And stick around for the outro. It's not a new one. It's one we used a couple weeks ago, but still, I think it's pretty darn good.
Bye, Samantha.
And check out some of the
everybody. We
check
love
out
you.
some of the screenshots that we have on the outro. Until next time, we'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Chargebacks, returns, and lowball offers too. Vero takedowns, they're a pain, what can we do? High selling fees, bad buys, and rude buyers galore. Flipping ain't easy, but we keep coming back for more. All resellers are gonna make mistakes. Learn from them, and you'll have what it takes. In the world of reselling, we're your guide. When flipping ain't easy, by your side. Sourcing great items is the key to success. Subscribe to the channel and stand above the rest. Focus on the thing that's within your control. Hang with flipping ain't easy. Let's roll. Catch the live streams on Mondays and Fridays. Join the Discord community for the parlays. Tune into the podcast Profit Playbooks. The name with Scott and Josh. Flipping's more than a game. Chargebacks, returns, and lowball offers too. A Fero takedowns, they're a pain, what can we do? High selling fees, bad buys, and rude buyers galore. Flipping ain't easy, but we keep coming back for more. Oh, all resellers are gonna make mistakes. Learn from them, and you'll have what it takes. In the world of reselling, we're your guide. Flipping ain't easy, but by your side. Sourcing great items is the key to success. Subscribe to the channel and stand above the rest. Focus on the thing that's within your control. Hang with flipping ain't easy. Let's roll. Catch the live streams on Mondays and Fridays. Join the Discord community for the parlays. Tune into the podcast Profit Playbooks, the name. With Scott and Josh, flipping's more than a game. Catch the live streams on Mondays and Fridays. Join the Discord community for the parlays. Tune into the podcast Profit Playbooks, the name. With Scott and Josh, flipping's more than a game.